Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Gomu Gomu No Talk podcast, and a podcast where we talked about the weekly One Piece chapters and episodes, and any more One Piece news. Welcome back again. Well, this is episode 10.
10.
Episode 10.
We made it. Double digits.
I'm double digits, double digits. In celebratory of episode 10, I just wanted to say happy birthday to my boy Austin. That'll
Thank
be
you.
tomorrow. That'll be tomorrow
I
as
guess,
of
yeah,
recording of this
tonight.
episode.
I already
I,
have the
th- I think
balloons in
I
the
think
background.
by the time this episode comes out, just a happy birthday.
Bro.
I just wanted to make sure that soundboard was working. But yeah, yeah, but yeah, we're celebrating episode 10 with that. But I'm your host Lyle. And with me is my co-host Austin, the birthday boy. Say what's up,
What
Austin.
up, lads? Welcome back. Yeah,
And
I already
before
have the balloons in the background, so it really tells my age.
yes, sir. We're getting old.
I know.
Um, yeah, so before we continue to our agenda, we're going to talk about today, just want to say if you're watching this, listening to this, make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys follow in iTunes, give us a like, whatever, leave us a comment, just any of that stuff helps.
hmm
And also, yeah. So I guess for what are we gonna talk about today, Awesome?
Yeah, I think right for today we had a anime episode over the weekend as well as a manga chapter. And we're actually recording this pretty early on. Normally we record
Yeah.
towards the middle or later end of the week, but I guess now that we're a lot more free, we're gonna be more on schedule. So hopefully this actually also comes out earlier as well.
Yep. Oh my God, man. I'm trying to make sure these episodes come out sooner and sooner. But yeah,
Mhm.
new chapter came out yesterday, and there's an episode come out over the weekend as well.
Yes.
Um, before we even get into it, man, I thought both the episode and chapter was absolute bangers. I thought it
Really?
was
I'm
pretty
kind of
fucking good.
surprised.
I the was pretty good. I
I
mean,
mean,
the
I
manga
thought
was really,
okay.
really fucking good,
I
but
thought they
the
were both well, I thought the manga was so good and the
yeah,
anime was decent for me. But I guess we'll go into that because we have
I'll
episode
just say bangers. Yeah,
1130 for
yeah.
the anime, and then I believe for the manga we have 1149. But yeah, I guess should we just dive right into the anime episode over the weekend?
Sure, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
so
Yeah, this episode was like you said, it was decent, right?
yeah. I mean,
I'd say
my only reason
it's
is because last week, I mean, I rated last week's what, like a 10 out of 10.
yeah.
Um and I guess we'll go into the ratings later, but the episode is titled A History Erased. God Valley of Despair.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I
Dude,
guess I mean the last episode was just all Kuma backstory, you know. And then this one it was kind of like I guess Kuma backstory, but
still
also
Kuma
like
backstory.
yeah, it's still riding off the Kuma backstory, but also kind of introducing the God Valley incident, you know, or the God
Yeah.
Valley story, which was super
In the
hype.
yeah. In the previous episode we left off at like we got introduced to Ivankov and Guinea and they were giving that speech to the group of prisoners, right? That
hmm
was getting started on those I forget what the games are called, but it's just those games that are getting rid of the locals for the fun of the celestial dragons.
hmm
Um and we just continue into that, but before too, like beginning episode, we also do like a brief like flashback recap kinda of Kuma, having his memories with his parents, to them
hmm
getting captured, to finding his mother's dead, to like,
Dude, yeah, just
writing
straight
a see his
trauma,
the dad
dude.
died. Straight up, yeah, straight up trauma is crazy.
hmm
Um yeah, then like right after that we see just the game is just commenced, right?
Yeah, the
Everyone is
God
fucking
Valley
like
event is started. It's kind of like feels like
everyone
the Hunger
is running.
Games. Yeah.
Oh, it is the Hunger Games. It
hmm
it is it is the Hunger Games, and it's
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's the Hunger Games because the people getting hunted, they just don't even have a chance. they did
Yeah.
they did not have a chance, and it's actually kind of like really fucked up. I guess like I didn't really like understand it like as well when I first read it. Ivankov was talking about it. It's like it's really like crazy how messed up it is that they give us like these they gave us as in the prisoners hope to
Hmm.
be able like, oh, maybe I'll survive.
Yeah, because
Because
I
to
think
them, like,
they were told if they survive, what is it, like 2 weeks or something?
yeah,
I
they
forgot
survive two
exactly how
weeks.
long. It was like a ridiculous long, and that they would be freed, you know. But then you look at the people on the island, you see like Saint Garlic just aura farming. You're just like, yo, yeah,
Yeah,
like I don't know if I'm
he is
making
an
it
ore farm.
these 2 weeks, you know,
Dude, speaking of ore farmers, man, Garp is also an ore farmer too, bro. Like
bro. Yeah, I think there was a
he,
lot of aura farm this episode, to be honest.
yeah, there was a lot of big hitters on
Hmm.
this in this episode.
Yeah,
Um, I saw. I mean, we even had a Kong appearance
I
of him
know.
trying to get
Rare
Garp. Him
fleet
trying to get Garp.
admiral Kong,
Yeah,
but
Fleet Admiral Kong telling Garp like, "Hey, you need to pull up right now.
yeah.
Roger's here." He's like, "Oh, why did you fucking
Hmm.
say that? Why didn't you say that? I'm coming up." And he was there with the
Yeah.
bitches. He was probably at
Dude, yeah, I know.
the biddy parties.
Yeah,
Biddy party.
he was enjoying himself. But
No
yeah,
vacation, man.
so I like really early on in the episode, like it something that they do in this episode is that they kind of have these cuts to like different places. Like in the early, like very early on, it cuts to like the Navy HQ. That's where we see like Fleet Admiral Kong talking to Garp. But also has that like very distinct sharp sound effect, as well as like it'll have the text and then like a frame of a picture. So I actually really like how they do that this episode. And then like later it
Yeah.
cuts to the pirate island, beehive, or just like wherever it is in the story, like because they're constantly like jumping around from like different islands to islands, so it kind of helps the watcher like really understand where they are and like break down like the story. But
Mhm.
yeah, like in that conversation between Admiral Call and Garp, we can see that like Garp just does not care. Like we know how much he hates the celestial dragons, and he's just not about going. But as soon as he hears Roger, he's like, "What? Roger? I'm already on my way."
I'm really interested to see like Roger and Garp's relationship of them like becoming rivals, man. It's
Hmm.
like this episode, like this there was something I caught on later in episode two. I guess I could talk about it now. It's like
Yeah.
between Roger and Garp, right? Like we know like how much they have respect each other. And
Hmm.
I saw someone make a posted a video about Zebek might be in those like has that kind of relationship with those other two as well. Because I remember if you watched it, there's a part where Roger was telling Zebek, "Oh, get out the way," and like they said it like in a way that they were like friends, right? Or like
Yeah.
they knew each other like really well. And then like
Hmm.
someone like made a theory or a video talking about like maybe these guys had some sort of like connection
Yeah.
earlier in their lives. And that's yeah.
I noticed that too, and that kind of brought me back to like, especially when we were in Wano, or the when we see like Whitebeard and Roger beat up, like you can tell they're boys by
Mhm.
the way they like kind of talk to each other, or just like even when they meet. And I kind of got like a similar vibe, not so much that they're like best friends, but they might be like rivals of some sort, or like at least give each other some sort of respect, you know.
Yeah.
But
It is I feel like it does like stray away from how like people always like say that like uh Zebek must have been some like cruel motherfucker, right? The way they portray him as this like this evil guy just wants to he had his whole plan of taking over the world, and like he was so like crazy that like the government erased him from history. But I feel like small things like that, man, he's
mhm.
probably just like a normal ass like idiot, just like the rest of them.
No, yeah.
And so it's like I really want to see like more.
Hmm.
I guess when we get into the manga, maybe see like when since Garp is captured now in the manga, we'll see like more more we'll see more unravel, I guess, between
Hmm.
those relationships.
No, yeah.
But um yeah, we also like in this anime too, they also like introduced to the anime watchers how the Azure fish fruit and the pawpaw fruit even like came into
Hmm.
Kuma and Kaido's hands because
Yeah.
that was supposed to be the prize.
Yep.
And they were like saying like fuck, we gotta escape. We can't win this game. We gotta escape it. So
Yeah,
these are the
they
only
already know
ways we
they're
can do this.
cooked. They're not being,
Yeah,
like you looking at who's at this island. They're like, yeah, we're screwed. Like the only
but,
option is
but
to somehow escape. And I think it
yeah,
was Ivankov who kind of like was giving this like inspirational speech to everyone, like kind of
yeah,
like Erwin Smith. Or he's
yeah,
like, yeah, like we're cooked. We're absolutely cooked. None of us are surviving like 2 weeks. None of us are gonna survive the end of this day, you know. So the only real chance we have is one of us getting this fruit. And as soon as she finishes this, she's like, okay, so we actually need a decoy. Like
yeah,
we basically need like a sacrificial lamb, to distract the celestial dragons. And I mean, you know how nice Kuba is, and he's just like, I think I'll take one for the team this time. I think he says something along the lines of like he doesn't want to see anyone else get hurt, you know.
yeah. Man, his whole life he's been watching people get hurt, but
Hmm.
he's the main character of the story. I mean,
Yeah.
it is his backstory, but yeah, he's a very, very, very selfless guy, and it's like it's actually kind of fucked up about the more shit that's gonna happen to him later in his
Hmm.
backstory.
Yeah, but you could
That
definitely see
Kuma
the.
just did not deserve any
Oh
of
yeah,
this,
no,
man.
he doesn't. But you can see the beginning of Ivankov as well as like Kuma's relationship, like how I guess like this is their first time meeting, but also like as we know in the storyline, they're pretty good friends, or I would assume so. And since they're both in the Revolutionary Army, it's kind of like the beginning of their story together, I guess.
Yep.
But right after that part,
Um.
the dude, I thought the scene was so nice. The rock pirates appearing on the
Oh my.
island. Dude, that was actually
Yeah.
I got so hyped.
When they had their little like their own like little what's it called? When it was like all of them right in the
Yeah, it
one
was like the
one
crew.
frame,
We got to see
but
is
it
it,
was
it
like
like introduced
yeah.
them one by one. First, I believe it was Whitebeard, and we see Stussy, which I think is like
Yeah.
the real Stussy, not
It
not the
was the
one.
original Stussy,
Mhm.
Whitebeard, Shiki, Big Mom, Kaido, Cap, and my boy Captain
Captain John, and then
John.
there was also the I think it's like the previous queen of the Woman Island,
Oh yeah,
Gloriosa, I think.
Glorioso,
Yes.
Glorioso,
Yep.
Glorioso,
Yeah,
Gloriosa.
we saw all of them, and it's just
Yes.
like it was so nice seeing like a young version of all of them. Dude, like Kaido looks like a kid, dude. Like he looks young.
Yeah.
And I think even I also thought the relationship between Kaido and Linlin was interesting. It almost seemed like he was like one of her underlings, like the way she was like talking to him. Because we know again, they have history, and like even in Wano, like Big Mom was like, "Yo, Kaido, like you owe me for like what happened at the God Valley incident," you know. So it was nice
Mhm.
to finally see what they were talking about.
Yeah,
And
she
and
will
like I
burn
mean,
his
we already
ass like the
at this
whole every
point,
time they see each other.
yeah, we already
Yeah.
knew the his Kaido's devil fruit is on this island, so we know like at this point
Mhm.
Kaido didn't have that Azure Dragon fruit.
And we see even just Big Mom just pick it up in the first place. Like they
Hmm.
um what's his face? Kuma and Ivankov, they managed to, steal the treasure, steal the prizes, and they had the two double fruits in hand. They're like, oh, we don't even know which one's which, just start fucking eating this shit. And
I mean,
Big
I
Mom
felt
just
like
came
what
out of
looking at the
Big Mom,
fruits, I could definitely tell which one was which.
yeah, Big Mom big ass like coming out of nowhere.
Dude,
Like,
just
yo, let me hold that.
yeah,
Let me hold that.
dude,
And
yeah.
she manages to take the fish fruit.
Hmm.
And we later know that's gonna go to Kaido. Probably shit started happening. At that point, Big Mom already had her fruit, so she can't eat that.
Yeah.
So it goes to Big Mom takes it, and they start their escape.
Hmm.
But Big Mom also just like captures Ivankov too, or like
Oh
it's
yeah.
more so Ivankov like stayed back to hold her back, so
Hmm. And
Kuma
she
has
was
a
just like,
chance to
"Yo,
escape.
eat the fruit," like this is our only chance. And he's just like,
Yeah,
he just starts running, and he just eats it. And then I think he pulled like as he's running, dude. I also thought this was a really nice point of the episode was he runs straight into Saint Saturn. As we know, like later on in the story, especially where we are in Egghead, like Saturn and Kuma have this history. So I think this was their first encounter and their first meeting.
yeah,
But even before that, like after we saw the Rocks Pirates, we also saw Roger pull up, and dude, he looks so young. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
and
didn't even
then
have the fucking mustache,
yeah,
man. He was
I
just like a little
know.
5 o'clock shadow, and he had the straw hat on.
And
So
then we also saw Rayleigh and Gavin, and dude, they all look so young. Especially like we're gonna get into the manga chapter later, but seeing Gavin like here versus where we are in the manga, I'm just like, damn, like the prime.
yeah.
Yeah, like we can definitely see that they're in their prime. But going back to like where we're at the story, like the conversation between Kuma and Saturn, dude, it was actually so sad. Seeing like I guess Kuma's outlook on life, talking about like what's the point, like if you're born as a slave, you know, um,
Mhm.
or like or just even born without having any power, or just I guess in general just not having any power. Like what is the point?
Yeah.
But obviously because he eats the paw fruit, he understands like now he does have power, and I think he says like something along of like he like having a power like Nika and wanting to save people. I thought that was really nice. Since I mean after seeing his upbringing, bro, dude, this guy just wants to help people, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no. That
Yeah.
shit fucked me up, man.
Hmm.
And I mean, right after his meeting with Saturn, we just cut to him, and it's just them at the beach, not the beach. Them at what's the village name again? I forgot the village's name.
Sorbet Kingdom,
Um,
right?
Sorbet Kingdom.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And
and
there it's not even like it's like the aftermath, but they're reading about the aftermath from the
yeah,
newspaper, and I like that they shout out Morgans.
like, yo, this Morgan's guy sucks. What the?
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Like
And
mm,
I do like one of the I can't quote it for exact, but when I believe it was Ivankov was like, the government makes themselves looks as good as they want them to look, you
mhm,
know? Because all they said about the God Valley incident, like they wanted to sweep this under the rug,
yeah.
was Garp saved the day.
Hmm. Garp the hero, dude.
Nothing else was said, and
Hmm.
nothing else will
Mentioned
be
at
found out
all.
besides the people that were there.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, no, that was a I really want to fucking see what actually happened, man. I'm just like,
Okay, so
I
like,
just
can
know
we
it was
get
some
into
bangers.
like? I mean, I know I we already read it, but I was hoping we'd see a little glimpse or something, but like we didn't see anything at all. That's where I
Yeah.
had like like I really didn't like this episode, even though I knew we weren't gonna see anything. The hype was like built up like so much during this episode just for like nothing to be shown, you know? Like
Mhm.
you're telling me the strongest people in the verse are like not it's not even like two of the strongest people in the verse. It's like the strongest people in the verse. Like you have Whitebeard, you have Shiki, you know, Kaido, Linlin, Rocks, Garp, Roger, Ray, like all the crews, and we don't even see anybody throwing hands. You know, like even Garling
But
is
that's the
there.
mystery, but
Like
that's
Garling
the
is there
mystery.
too, and we don't see
That's the
one
mystery.
encounter of any of them at
That
all
is the
together.
mystery.
And I
Dude,
understand that's the
they
mystery,
could have just been
but
they could have just
damn,
been shooting shits the whole time, bro.
bro, they probably just chatting it up. Yeah.
We will never fucking know. They're like, all right, we'll let you go, but y'all gotta make me look good, all right?
Mhm.
Nah, bro. I I I I really hope like I can very well see that we're never gonna know what actually happened there.
Yeah.
Which I think would be really funny. But I just want like a spin-off like mini
Dude, like a
series,
movie
like
would be nice.
something. A movie would
A
be
movie would be
sick.
fire.
Just
But
so we have like
again,
I just because we know the outcome, right? Like
mhm,
Rock's disbanded, Brock's probably died there.
mhm.
Garp is Garp is him.
Yeah, Garp and Roger team up,
eh,
you know?
Roger. I think that was when Roger also found Shanks too, or something. But
Yeah, I
shit,
believe
man.
so. But that's the whole
I,
thing. It's just like we know what happens, but like I was like I really was hoping that we'd see something. But again, that's where I felt like as soon as it cut to the aftermath, I was like, damn, that's really it. Like
yeah,
we don't see anything.
nothing.
But yeah, so that's where I
Um,
personally was a bit disappointed in this episode. Even though
yeah, I can see.
I knew it was gonna be like that. But But it
That's it.
cuts back to Kuma, and again, dude, this guy's just praying. After everything he's been through, dude, this guy's just praying, and he's just sad, and he's praying that he was wishing he could have saved more people.
Yeah.
And then even I think
Um.
Ivankov and Guinea were just like, bro, you saved like I forgot how many people, but he saved like a ton of people. And I like the reference they made. They're like, oh, your hands saved these people. Like you have your hands liberated the people. And I
mhm,
was like, yo, that's fire. Like the hands of liberation is actually a fire name. Or even
Yeah.
just term in general.
Um. Yeah, but like when they're back on the island,
Hmm.
we get to see like we'll see it more later on too as Kuma gets older about his like powers of pain repelling, right? Especially like
Yep.
that was when like after he was Giddy beat up the bullies, people that were bullying Kuma.
Hmm.
Kuma's such a nice guy, even though they were being or even though they were bullying
Dude,
him,
yeah,
throwing
they're
rocks
just
at him,
kids. Kids
he
being
still
kids.
just took the pain
Yep.
out. And at this point, the anime readers don't know that like he still someone still has to take the pain.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. I thought this was really nice to just kind
so
of like introduce the idea, because obviously we know
mm,
later on in the story, since we saw in Thriller Bark, like he can take the pain out. But I think this was the first time, like, I think at this age, he's probably like, I forgot how old he is at this time, but you can definitely see
nine.
like,
He said it nine. He
yeah, I
said he
think he's
was
9,
9.
right? Yeah, like his applications of the fruit, because obviously they're like, oh, because the way they described the fruit at first was like, oh, it can transport people like anywhere pretty much.
That's all they talked about was like they
Yeah,
could repel people off,
yeah,
right?
it can repel and
And
like basically it seemed like they only knew it as like a transportation kind of devil fruit, but you can see like he uses it to literally, I guess, like cure these kids, you know, or at least like take the pain
uh,
away.
yeah,
Um,
and I mean, right after that, they just cuts to like I guess was it Guinea and Kuma? They were just like just them eating
oh yeah, because at this
and
point
that.
Ivankov already
Oh, he had left,
he
yeah.
already left. Yeah, he was like, I'm out, like Savo, I'm gonna go sail the seas. But so they just left the two of them, and I think at this point they're eating, and they're talking about how they're full, and Giddy just starts crying, and then at this point, um, I think Kuma's just like so grateful for where he is right now, especially everything he's gone through the last few years, and he just starts bawling, and he has like his
Yeah.
flashbacks to, because he's at the exact same place he was with his family, but now he's just with Guinea, and
Hmm.
yeah, he just starts bawling, dude.
She starts fucking balling too,
Yeah,
man.
I
It's
know.
I started balling, bro. And
Oh
then
yeah.
it's but that was pretty much it. Like from this chapter.
Hmm.
That's chapter this episode.
Yeah,
You're right. I do wish they fucking they teased us a little too much.
bro.
I do wish
Yeah.
we saw something, and it's like if you really know what's gonna happen, it's really teasing. But it's just I really liked the episode in a sense because I just loved seeing everybody together and
Hmm.
seeing it on action. I thought that was sick. Like I thought, like the highlight of this episode, you're right, was the Rocks Pirates pulling out.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Everyone pulling up on
that
the
was
island.
really fucking cool. I really fucking liked it. Seeing young Roger, young
Hmm.
Rayleigh, young
Young Garp.
Gavin.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah,
Young everybody,
and
pretty much.
the anime watchers don't know who Gavin is yet. They oh my god,
I mean, we
it's
basically just found out
yeah, we just
exactly
found out
who he
too, but like,
is. Yeah.
but it was a
Hmm.
cool episode. We should get into ratings
Yeah.
now.
So, what did you give it?
7. I thought
Okay.
it was a 7.
Okay.
Um, I really liked the episode.
Hmm.
Especially was the few glimpses we got in God Valley. Obviously, like you said, um I do wish that there was a little bit more action. But
Yeah.
what One Piece does really well is the whole. I mean, that's why everyone loves One Piece, right? Is the whole world building aspect and
Hmm.
just seeing the different locations of people like calling in, what's going on around the world. Seeing Roger like is starting to make his way. What Garp is doing now, like it just. I felt like the whole the years and years of world building up to this point, it's been paying off really well, and it's like
Hmm.
it just makes me feel like I was there, like, oh shit, something's about to happen, like, just like across the fucking street.
Yeah.
So I really, that's my favorite parts of the episode, but yeah, it's pretty good. So I
Okay.
liked it.
So you gave it a 7. Did I gave this a 5 out of 10. I think for me, I just was again, I thought the best parts of the episode was definitely all the people pulling up on the island. Everybody in the Rocks Pirates, the entire Roger crew, Garp, seeing the Holy Knights already there. But the fact that we don't even see any of them together, like, just really, it just, I was just a little disappointed. Even I mean, I already said before, like, I knew that we weren't gonna see anything, but dude, I still wanted to see something, you know?
You're greedy,
Yeah,
greedy.
I was greedy, but I agree.
Yeah.
I like the parts of like I guess the way they were like telling the story, like showing the different
The
islands, showing
the build up,
exactly. Yeah, the buildup was really
the build
nice,
up.
but the payoff, I don't
Yeah,
know. The payoff, they just cut to the aftermath of them reading the newspaper. I was like, damn.
yeah, yeah, that part was kind of
Especially because
like
we know at this point in the story like how big this incident was. You know, like this is like legendary. But the fact that we didn't
yeah.
get to see anything, I was just a little sad. And that's just my personal rating. But yeah, I gave it a 5 out of 10. But I also felt like it was also coming off of the last episode was just so good. But still a solid episode nonetheless.
Okay,
So yeah, I guess should we? I guess we can just go straight into the manga chapter then, right? Because
yeah, we can go straight. It's
I feel
fine.
like personally this week, dude, I was thinking about this chapter this entire week. Even while watching this episode, I was thinking about this chapter, especially when I saw Gavin. But
Yeah.
yeah, you already know where we got to start off with the cover art. And
Oh my
dude,
god, dude. Thank fuck
finally,
God. Oh, thank God.
finally.
Did you see that they were also on the cover of Shonen Jump as well?
No, I didn't see that actually.
Again, they're all on the cover of Shonen Jump like
Yeah.
every week, but
Hmm.
it's like they were on the cover this past week.
Hmm.
I'll send you a photo. I don't know if you want to pull it up,
Yeah.
but
Let me see.
it was uh it was basically just this photo, and it had all a bunch of other stuff. I'm gonna send it.
Hmm.
It's just general. I thought it was pretty. I thought it was pretty funny looking.
Oh wow! Wait, that's actually so cute.
Yeah. It was that, and then we got also a color spread too
Hmm.
for the cover story. Um, the
Yeah.
cover story is the boys, as in the Straw Hats, in the Cat Cafe or in
Hmm.
Maid
Or
Cafe.
maid
My bad,
cafe.
not Cat
Yeah.
Cafe. I was getting a little too excited. I was getting a little too excited. My bad. I'm sorry. I think the one thing, like, there's a few things that's going on around
Yeah.
here,
There's a
right?
lot of things going on in this
The biggest
picture.
one is who is the RAP supposed to be for in the bottom left?
Oh yeah, I know. I saw somebody talk about this.
And it's not the first time um Oda has foreshadowed a death. This
Hmm.
might be a little too obvious for it to be
Yeah, even
foreshadowing.
because sometimes when people say that, I'm like, okay, that might be a stretch. But even when I saw this, I was like, oh wow, like I noticed that. Like that's
Yeah.
very apparent in the photo.
It's-
I mean, there's like a bunch of things going on in this photo, but that's one of the things I really noticed, and I'm glad you brought it up because I was about to bring it up as well. Was the like you see Bonnie holding I don't even know what that is. Is that like a menu or something or a
It's
plate?
like a tray.
Yeah, a tray, and it just says like R.I.P. And then it
I
says
think I see an M. Is that Kuma?
oh, I don't know, but yeah. But
That
this
might
is a
be that might
nice
be a
dude. This
Kuma
is such a
RIP.
nice colored cover art. I love this. I mean, I'll take anything besides Yamato at this point.
Yeah. I like the face the
the
cat
yeah,
and the
it
Usopp's making at the same
yeah,
time.
because I think they're looking at the bill. It seems like because it
Yeah.
seems like
Zoro and Luffy do not care. Zoro,
yeah.
Luffy, and Chopper do not give a fuck. They just trying to eat.
Mm.
So
They're eating good. They're eating what's it called? It looks like omu rice.
omurice with some lettuce and tomato.
Hmm.
That's pretty sick, man.
No, yeah, I really
Um,
like this one. But wait, so this does this chapter have does it have a title or no?
yeah, it's called 1 second.
Oh, it is. Okay, yeah.
And that's a quick segue to this chapter is
Oh
yeah, so we
yeah.
got chapter 149. titled "One
1 second.
Second,"
Oh, okay, I just found it. Yep.
because this is a very fast-paced chapter. I feel
Mhm.
like all of this chapter happened in a matter of like two minutes or something.
Dude, it happened in
Because
like
a lot
five
of shit,
seconds. Yeah, it seemed
yeah, it
like.
might have been honestly, it might have been just like 5 seconds. Because
And I guess
like,
if you don't remember what happened towards the end of the last episode, we can see that Gavin just pulls up on Saint Summers, and I believe he cuts off his arm, and Summers is not regenerating. Like that was the big thing in the last chapter.
you have the secret secret hockey that
Hmm.
a lot of people are talking about. I think, I mean, like maybe like like maybe it might not because of what happened in the last, but I think we will get to see Gabon teach the Straw Hats, especially hopefully to the very least Luffy, how to
Hmm.
use this power.
Yeah.
Um, too, but it's like now, dude, like it's OP because like Gabon just straight up just bodies this dude.
Oh
Um,
yeah. And I
bodies
mean the
Summers.
beginning of this chapter is literally everyone's reaction to him just bodying Summers, you know? You can see all the
He
Straw
even
Hat
says he's
crew is just
rusty.
like, yeah, exactly. Dude, he is forming aura in this chapter. Like for
Yeah,
him to say
I
I'm rusty even though he's the only one that's done anything at all, like in Elbaf, I'm just like, damn, what could this guy
yeah,
like what is this guy capable of doing?
and Summers is trying to attack back, man, with all these Thorn name attacks, Thorn
Yeah.
Salation, all this shit. They don't give a fuck. And it's I think it's like it's funny. It's like Summers recognizes this guy,
Hmm.
right? And it's like I think it
Yeah.
was him or it might have been someone else. Like, what the fuck are you doing in Outbath?
Yeah.
It's like someone this strong, and it's like
He asked
I don't know,
Gavin
man.
what he's doing here.
Yeah, that's Summers, right?
Yes.
I thought it was
Summers, yeah.
the
Summers is
the
asking
yeah.
him why
I don't know,
like what's
man.
he even
Like
doing here?
it's I guess they don't know because like his son's on the island, so
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah, but
and
at
he's
this
just like, dude,
point they
let's
don't
not
know
get bogged
that.
down with more
Yeah.
questions. All this shit and just
Hmm.
fucking keeps going at him. And then Nami was like telling them, "Yo, that's the guy that was handling Zoro and Luffy pretty well."
Yeah, that's him.
So
He's him.
that's I'm not surprised about what's just going on. And they're like, dude, like who the fuck is like, who the hell is
Yeah.
this guy, bro?
Mm,
Like now
no.
that's the land. Oh yeah, this is what I was thinking of. He was like, he's the left arm of the Pirate King, the counterpart to Rayleigh. I think it's funny. It's like even after they said like, hey, like his son is on the island. I forgot. I think it was might have been Usopp or Brook or whatever saying, "Yo, what is he doing here?"
Mm,
And I'm just like, I think the standard of being a father in this whole story is so low
mm-hmm.
because we even like that's like self-explanatory.
Oh yeah.
Like yeah, he's on the island because his son's on here.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess every father in this fucking show is an abandoner. It's like I can't believe this guy's actually doing the right thing for once.
Yeah. But yeah, we get
But
to see this fight between. I mean, I say fight, but it's a very
it
one-sided
is
fight.
not a fight.
It's a beating, yeah. And Summers tries to clap back, using again all these different thorn attacks like Thorn Hunt, Crimson, Lotus, Hell, you know, and he's just like, "You're done for," and Gavin just replies with, "Dude, I'm in a hurry," and just
X,
cuts this guy in half,
yeah.
like straight, like literally in half. I couldn't even believe it. Like it
Yeah.
reminded me of like when Shanks just cut down Captain Kidd, just like one shots him. That's
Mhm.
pretty much what happens. And one thing I noticed was that like he cuts him immediately and he's just like, I'm coming, Colin. Like he wasn't even like that's not even his main priority to like fight this guy. His main priority is to save his son, and this guy just so happened to be in his way. And he just took care of business.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting
Um,
because we see like obviously all the reactions they're all shocked, but we see Chopper. Chopper's very curious as to like how Gavin is doing this, and he even follows him afterwards. He leaves the rest of the Straw Hats. They're still tied up, but Chopper just dips,
dude,
chasing him because
just
he's trying to figure out what's
Chopper,
going on.
what is Chopper? Oh wait, I guess it's Thorn still, but
Hmm.
wait,
Yeah,
Come
Chopper
on, man, you're the
chases right
doctor.
after him.
How about the boys?
I know. But again, he seems
But
very intrigued on how he did this. So,
mhm.
and
He's
then
on his investigation mode, man.
yeah, right after we see it cuts to I think the Saint killing him.
Same killing him, yeah. They're at the library.
And everything's
And he's
burning.
just like, yeah, he said he's basically saying like, thanks, not thanks, but like, I can see, the decision you guys made, and I'm just gonna take out the other building as well. So basically, mission accomplished. In their eyes, as of now, mission accomplished. We can, we can start breaking down the rest of the shit.
Yeah.
Um, and everyone is fucking upset. It's not just we see Ronja later on being super upset, but Ja Rule, the
Yeah.
other giants,
Robin.
they're like, I guess Saul knows what's going on, even though we just see a picture of like, a frame of him just, just face down.
Yeah, he's been faced out for the last
Um,
few chapters.
Ronja's like,
I'm sorry.
say killing him, like announce that shit, like, hey, I'm burning down everything's burning down, like, thanks guys. And um Ron just so fucking upset, man.
Yeah.
That shit always fucks me up. It's just like, I'm sorry, like I'm alive. Like everyone's suffering
Mhm.
because of me.
Yeah, and Gunko
All
just
this
asked
shit.
like, "Why aren't you happy?" You know.
Like, what the
I'm just
fuck?
like, "Yo, can you
You
read the
live,
room?" Yeah,
yeah, man.
she's just sorry that she's alive, and it's like she feels like she's the cause of everything that's going on right now, and I thought it was really nice. Like you can see all the giants being like, "It's not your fault," like like trying to kind of comfort her, because again, it really isn't her fault. They're just children at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But as this is going
Um,
on, we can see, you know, obviously
our
because
boy,
Gunko is holding the children hostage, our boy Gavin just pulls up and he's just like he just announces like culture, history, children, like you don't have the right to take any of these things, as he
and I was
pulls
like,
up to
yeah,
Gunko. Yeah.
yeah, yes, yes, yes. It's like
The,
he's gonna save us,
the
guys.
kids, yeah, the
And I
kids see
like,
him is like, yo, finally, thank God.
and I like it when I like this. I thought this was funny when he's just like, and said, "All right, Colin, don't say
Yeah,
anything." And
don't say
literally,
shit,
next page,
yeah.
Daddy, that's my daddy. That's my daddy.
hmm And immediately you can see he's just like, God damn it. Like, oh my, of all the things, And I think at this point, I believe he tries to take a swing at her, but at this point, she uses her double fruit.
She
And by
dodged.
the
She
time,
dodged that shit.
yeah, by the time he tries to attack her, she's already at Colin's neck, And because again,
Mhm.
now she knows that this is his kid, and I think she says something along the lines of like, oh, like you don't mind if I kill him, right?
Yeah.
And
And this is a very, very big moment for Colin.
mhm,
This right here. He's like,
yeah,
"Hang in there. You're a big, strong boy." He's like, "Yeah, you're right. I'm a
yeah.
warrior.
Even
I'm a
before he
warrior."
says, like you're a big strong boy, he's just like hang in there. Give me 1 second, And you can see before like before he even says this, there's a panel, and I think this is like his internal monologue, and he's just like he's like it seems like he's like, okay, I can do this, if I do it instantly, just like within a second. But again, you can see Collins, he's like, yeah, I got this, like I'm a warrior. But Gavin definitely he starts having flashbacks, and you can see, dude, he looks so young in these flashbacks.
Yeah.
He has dark hair.
Basically, he didn't have gray hair.
Yeah, he
He
has
didn't have. He
dark
did not have
hair,
gray hair.
and you can see he starts thinking about like when Collins is born, and I feel like here it's like you can really see him starting like really think about like what like the situation,
Yeah.
And I think right after
Um.
this, oh, he uses, I believe, is this his observation hockey? Or yeah, because he can see that like I believe he sees that a scene of her just stabbing Colin straight through the neck,
Yeah.
And seeing this, he realizes he can't do it, and he yields. He drops his axe and he's like, I yield.
I don't do it. I'm not gonna do it.
hmm
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. And again, instead of taking out Colin, dude, she goes right for him, sends three arrows straight through his body. and
Yeah.
he just
And
apologizes.
this Colin like screaming the whole daddy thing,
Mhm.
right? Like, Roy calling him out. Like it strikes something in Gunko,
Yes.
which is we probably saw a little bit in a few chapters ago when Brooke like took like a noticing
Mhm.
of Gunko that this person that Gunko's in his flashbacks, it's
Mhm.
probably Brooke's dad,
Yeah.
right? Not Brooke's dad. Brooke is her dad,
It's just Brooke, yeah. Because again, we only see a
and
silhouette, but it's fairly. The guy has an afro, and there's music
yo ho
playing.
ho,
Yeah,
yo ho
and he
ho.
says "yo ho ho,"
It's
and
it's fucking Brooke.
yeah, and we could
It's
see,
fucking Brooke.
yeah, again, this is her flashback to when she was a child, and she says like even she dreams that to be a pirate just like him, and she kind of like snaps out of it, you can see.
Yeah, and Brooke even says in the next chapter too. It's like, dude, like that resemblance is pretty. I think that's what he was talking about, right? About her. Oh, like I think he was like thinking about like,
Mm, I don't.
that might
That's why
be
I don't understand that, to be
because what
honest.
else? Because what else could that like the resemblance is uncanny? What else could that be? And or maybe it could have been Usopp saying or some shit. I
Yeah,
don't
I know
know. I
Yusuf's
think that's
saying
what he
that, but
was.
I don't know. I was a little
Is
confused
it
as to
Usopp?
what he was
I
talking
think that's
about.
pointing at Brooke. I'm pretty sure that's pointing at Brooke.
Is it? No, I thought that was. Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah,
Usopp is saying think of a way to escape, right?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, the resemblance is uncanny.
So
Yeah.
oh, it
Um.
looks. We even see like Brooke. Are you Brooke? You know.
Yeah. She snaps out of it and she says his name yeah, she even asks if he's broke, and then immediately you can see um something happens to her. It seems like she's getting mind controlled all of a sudden, and then there's text, and it's obviously I believe it's coming from Gunko, but it's not Gunko, and it's like the person is pretty pissed. It's like what's taking so long? In which we could see Saint killing him just announces like, oh, this is like Emu, and Emu
Mhm.
actually tells him, and this I thought was so hype. I think Emu says that the Holy Land, like Mary Joie, I believe that's Mary Joie, right? When they
Mhm.
reference the Holy Land, she says that like the Holy Land is a sea of fire, which to me I thought, oh, I guess the Revolutionary Army is like making their move now, right?
Yeah, and yeah,
And
she's
dude,
Emu.
this last line, dude,
Oh,
like sent shivers, dude.
yeah. Allow mood to show you the dominance of God, and
Mhm.
it's kind of fucking. And that's it. That's the end of
That's
this.
it.
That's the end of the chapter. We see. Is it looks like hockey coming out, and it's like,
Hmm.
man, we were finally actually getting to see like the fucking what's it called? The power
Yeah.
of Emu against these guys. So,
Hmm.
um, what do I think was it might happen next immediately
Yeah.
after? I do
What are your
think the
thoughts?
next chapter we're gonna see Emu fight. Uh
Oh, interesting.
because this is Emu, and we're gonna. I, I think I saw something online that um the devil fruit Emu might have eaten is like it has to be one of like the four like gods, right? Like a god fruits, right? It was like the the sun fruit, the forest like forest god fruit. I forget what the other ones were, but someone was saying that like Emu, the one Emu ate, allows her or him or whoever it is, the ability to control people.
Hmm.
Um, and I was like thinking, I don't know if like Summers goes into this, but there has to be like a lot of the holy knights, especially the ones that just like Gunka, like they're just like super brainwashed.
Yeah.
They're just
Hmm.
zombies, right? At this
Yeah.
point, that being controlled. That's what I thought. Like that's what I thought they were trying to capture the giants for, like the kids.
Hmm.
Before we found out, like, and they're gonna train them
Yeah.
to become like holy knights. But yeah, that's
No,
what we're gonna see
I
next
could definitely
chapter, I
see
guess,
that,
right?
especially when, I mean, again, well, what else would this be? Allow Ibu to show you the dominance of God. Like, definitely she's about to pop off, or he or she's about to
Yeah,
pop off. And
yeah.
I could definitely see her like Emu having some sort of fruit that allows control. You know, we can see that like
Mhm.
Emu can just straight up kill like Emu just straight up killed was it Saint Saturn?
Yeah,
Like
it's
I don't
just
know
like that.
how,
Like that.
but like yeah. So maybe it does
I
have to
think
do with something
maybe
of like control, like absolute
maybe in
control or
like
something.
in exchange of like power that Emu can give,
Hmm.
they just have what Emu just has control over you in some way, sort of form, right?
Hmm.
It's kind of just like a deal with the devil kind of thing. The devil fruit. Oh my god! Wow,
Yeah.
crazy!
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa,
Whoa, whoa,
whoa,
whoa. Calm down now.
whoa. But that could be it, man. It's there's a whole lot of shit going on. Um,
Hmm.
with what with like now we're getting more speculations. Oh my god,
Yeah.
this chapter is so fucking good.
A lot of
And
speculations came
and
out this chapter.
I I didn't read the spoilers,
Hmm.
but I heard the next chapter is even fucking
Oh,
crazy.
really? I didn't see
That's
anything
what
about the
people
next
were.
chapter yet. But I
That's
mean,
what people were saying. I'm very
leading off of
excited.
this chapter, I could see the next chapter being crazy.
Yeah, I wanted to wait till this chapter. We recorded this video till I read the spoilers of the next chapter, but
Yeah, that's probably what we're gonna do right
um,
after this.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like, fuck, man. I guess like predictions, right? Like, I think
Mhm.
Emu's definitely gonna fight. I think towards the end we'll probably see something with like Luffy and the crew coming back, but like I don't even know what the status is on them
Yeah, I
nursing
guess they're
what's
just
his
still
face
chilling with
Odin back.
Loki.
Loki, my bad, I said
Yeah.
Odin, but yeah. Um,
Mhm.
I do know like someone was saying something about like in the next chapter there was some sort of crazy twist. I don't know what the twist is, and I don't even know if this could be Cap or if I'm misremembering what was said. But there's a crazy twist that was going on, like a big lore drop. So
Hmm.
I'm trying to think like what it could be, but I guess if it's so crazy, we'd only had to see it
Yeah.
to believe.
No, for sure. No, I think
Um,
again my predictions next chapter is definitely. I mean, we're about to see the dominance of God, you know. So I'm expecting
yeah,
some big event to occur that like kind of just really shakes things up or just ends things. And I also think again, depending on the status of Gavin, I could see them doing some sort of like training arc or at least like him teaching it like if this is like an advanced form of hockey or whatever, like they obviously need to learn this in order to do anything, you know.
yeah,
So I could see that in the near future as well.
yeah.
But I guess
Um,
yeah, what are you rating this chapter? I already know. I already have mine. This was easy for me.
um, man, the ending was crazy, bro. It was a very fast paced chapter. I
This
say
was
it's a
very
nine.
fast paced. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I gave
I say
this
give it a
one.
9.
I gave this one a 10. I thought everything in the chat. I thought the lore drop was crazy. I thought the Gunko Brook lore drop was crazy. I thought the Gavin fight was very satisfying. And then obviously the last part was just insane. Like
Yeah,
I felt
I
like
think the only thing that got
mhm.
the only thing that really got me mad was how easily Gabon just like, yep, I quit, and I'm just like, I get
Yeah,
it, I know, I see why, but I'm just like, dude,
I
come on,
know.
man. But it was banger chapter. Oh my god, the ending was picked up so hard. It
Yeah,
was
that's the thing
really
is, I
fucking
mean,
good, man.
I already thought the chapter was a complete banger, and then I get to the last few panels, and I'm just like, dude, what the heck? Like, they really saved the best for last, you know?
Yeah. Shit, man. I'll bump up my score to a point 5 for not being a Yamato back cover story.
Oh
So,
yeah, and that too.
but yeah, no, very fucking good chapter. And there's no break next week, so
Hmm.
dude,
So yep,
man, we're One Piece fans are eating
I know we're eating
this past few
so
months
well.
so well, so well. Yeah. So I guess that's it
Hmm.
for
I mean, that's
the
everything for
manga
this
and
week.
anime
Yeah,
review. I'm trying to think. Anything else that we might want to talk about? I guess that's really just it.
yeah.
Um, this week, in terms of content from us,
Mm,
you might be expecting a little video. I don't know
a
what we
cheeky
could be
little
cooking up, but
video,
we
yeah.
a cheeky little video, but for sure next week for next at least the very least next episode,
Mm,
we're gonna try to release these sooner in the week,
yep.
maybe Monday morning. Hopefully, we're gonna try to shoot for an upload
Mm.
midday Monday. But this
Midday
one's hopefully
Monday
gonna
or
come out.
Tuesday, yeah.
Hopefully, this one's gonna come out on Tuesday or Wednesday, early in the week. Um,
Hmm.
I'm trying to think, man. Like, so we got a chapter next week and an episode next week.
Yep.
I think in the anime they're finishing up the Kuma stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah. I
Um,
think it's either one or two more episodes. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, they're finishing
oh,
up the Kuma backstory. Obviously, I think that'll be
all right.
episode 1131 next week, 1150. I don't even know. We're about to find out after we finish this recording, to be honest.
And so,
So
all right.
definitely stay tuned for those. Anything
And
else?
guys,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, of course, man. If you made it this far, you know what to say. Just hit us subscribe. It helps us out a lot. Leave a
Mm-hmm.
comment, like the video, all that stuff.
Yep.
Whatever platform you're listening on, if you ever find us out one way or another,
Yep.
help us out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm your host Lyle, and this is Austin, and it's us saying goodbye.
Yep.
Peace.
Until next time.